science friends. Let's talk about something really big. I mean, really, really big. Imagine you're at the beach enjoying the beautiful Pacific Ocean. The waves are rolling in, nice and easy. But what if a wave wasn't just a wave? What if it was a whole series of waves, powerful and fast, caused by something happening deep under the sea? That, my friends, is a tsunami. It's not just one giant wave like you see in the movies. It's a series of powerful surges of water, one after another, that can travel across the entire ocean at the speed of a jet airplane. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Bill, I get it. Tsunamis are big. But why should we in California be so concerned? That is an excellent question. The answer lies right beneath our feet. California is located on what scientists call the Ring of Fire. It's not a real ring of fire, of course, but it's a huge horse-shaped area around the Pacific Ocean where a lot of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions happen. This is because the massive Pacific Plate is constantly grinding and bumping against tectonic plates, like the North American plate that most of California sits on. The next big question is, how will you know if one is coming? The warnings come from science and technology long before the water arrives. You might hear a special tone on the television or radio, followed by an emergency message. If you are near the coast and you feel a very strong earthquake, one that is so strong you can't stand up, that is your signal to act immediately. The water might suddenly pull way back, exposing the seafloor far beyond the normal low tide line. Or you might hear a loud, strange roar coming from the ocean like a freight train. When you get a tsunami warning, your brain might feel like it's buzzing. That's okay. The key is to have a simple scientific plan ready to go. Your top priority is to get to a safe place. A safe place means two things: high ground and far inland. Follow the designated evacuation routes. Many coastal communities have signs with a wave symbol on them, pointing the way to higher ground. If you can, walk or ride a bike. Roads and bridges may be damaged by the earthquake, and traffic jams can trap you in the danger zone. If you are in a building, like a tall, strong hotel made of reinforced concrete, and you can't get to high ground, your next best option is to go to the highest floor possible. The roof is even better. One of the most important experiments in preparation you can do is to build a go bag or an emergency kit for you and your family. First, water. You need at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. A 3-day supply is a good start. Second, food. You'll want non-perishable food that is easy to eat, like energy bars, canned goods, and dried fruit. Don't forget a manual can opener. Third, you need a first aid kit. You can buy a pre-made one or build your own with bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any personal medications you or your family need. A flashlight with extra batteries is crucial, as the power will likely be out. A hand crank radio is even better because it doesn't rely on batteries. You'll also want some cash, copies of important documents like your ID and insurance policies stored in a waterproof bag, and a local map with your evacuation routes marked on it. Where you are when a tsunami warning happens makes a big difference in what you should do. The most dangerous place to be is, of course, right on the coast. If you are at the beach or in a marina, you need to move to high ground as quickly and as far inland as possible. Drop everything and go. If you are already on high ground and far from the coast, stay where you are. You are the safe zone. The time after the tsunami passes, known as the aftermath, presents a whole new set of challenges. Floodwaters can hide many dangers. There could be downed power lines which can electrify the water. There could be broken gas lines, creating a risk of fire or explosion. Listen to your hand crank or battery-powered radio for instructions from authorities. They will provide information about safe routes, shelters, and where to get help. So, there you have it. We've taken a journey through the science of tsunamis, from the deep ocean floor to the shores of the beautiful state of California. But I hope you're not feeling scared. I hope you're feeling empowered, because knowledge is power, and being prepared is the key to turning fear into confidence. It all comes down to a few simple, logical ideas. Know the warnings, both official and natural. Have a plan for your family, your school, and your workplace. Talk about your plan with your family. Put a reminder on your calendar twice a year to check the supplies in your emergency kit and replace expired items. By staying calm, staying prepared, and thinking scientifically, we can live safely and confidently, even in the face of nature's biggest challenges. So let's get prepared, California. Let's get our science on. The world is a beautiful place, and the more we know about it, the better we can enjoy it.
Let's talk about tsunamis. Now, you might picture a giant curling wave like you see surfers ride, but a tsunami is something very, very different. It's not just one wave, it's a whole series of powerful waves. Think of it less like a wave in a bathtub and more like the entire bathtub suddenly sloshing over the side. These waves are often caused by massive disturbances on the ocean floor. Imagine a huge underwater earthquake, a volcanic eruption, or even a landslide. All that energy has to go somewhere, and it pushes the water above it upwards and outwards, creating waves that can travel across entire oceans at incredible speeds. Now you might be thinking, tsunamis in California? Really? The answer is a resounding yes. The main reason for this risk lies deep beneath the Pacific Ocean in something called the Ring of Fire. This is a massive horseshoe-shaped area around the Pacific Ocean where many of the Earth's tectonic plates meet. These are called distant source tsunamis. These can be generated by earthquakes on faults located right off the California coast, like the Cascadia subduction zone. So, if a tsunami is heading our way, how do we know? These are part of the Deep Ocean Assessment and Reporting of Tsunamis, or DART system. Here's how they work. A sensor on the seafloor called a bottom pressure recorder. Once the data reaches a warning center like the National Tsunami Warning Center in Palmer, Alaska, scientists get to work. A tsunami watch means a tsunami is possible. A tsunami advisory means a tsunami with the potential for strong currents or waves dangerous to those in or near the water is expected. A tsunami warning means a dangerous inundating tsunami is imminent or expected. Okay team, preparation is everything. The first and most important step is to know your zone. Once you know you're in a hazard zone, you need to plan your evacuation route. Of course, no preparedness plan is complete without a go bag. What goes in it? Think about the essentials you'd need for at least 72 hours. Finally, let's talk about communication. All right, let's imagine the moment happens. The very first sign of a tsunami might not be an official alert. Your primary action is to evacuate. If you get caught and are unable to move to higher ground, you need to find another way to get vertical. Remember that a tsunami is not a single event. Stay in your safe location until you hear from official sources that it is safe to return. The waves have stopped, and an official all clear has been given. But, it might seem like the danger is over, yet the post-tsunami environment has its own set of serious risks. Tsunami floodwater is not just water, it's a toxic soup contaminated with sewage, chemicals, and bacteria. You need to protect yourself. The emotional impact of a disaster is also a major part of the aftermath. To truly understand why we prepare, we can look to the past. On the evening of March 27, 1964, a massive earthquake, the most powerful ever recorded in North America, with a magnitude of 9.2, struck near Prince William Sound, Alaska. The first wave to reach Crescent City, a small harbor town in the far northwest corner of California, was relatively small, just a few feet high. A few hours after the first small waves, the fourth and fifth waves struck Crescent City with catastrophic force. While individual preparedness, having your go bag and your family plan, is absolutely essential, true safety comes from building a resilient community. Many cities have a Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT program. Ultimately, a resilient community is one where information flows freely, resources are shared, and people look out for one another. And when families and neighbors work together, the entire community becomes stronger and better able to withstand, respond to, and recover from any challenge that comes its way. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the deep ocean science of how tsunamis form to the on-the-ground steps you can take to keep your family safe. But it all boils down to one simple, powerful idea. Being prepared is not the same as being scared. Think of it like wearing a seatbelt in a car. You don't put on your seatbelt because you expect to crash every time you drive. Tsunami preparedness is your family's seatbelt for coastal living. So please, don't put it off. Take one step today. The power to be ready is in your hands. Use it. Because when it comes to facing the forces of our amazing dynamic planet, preparedness is not just a good idea, it's everything.